Know the law and be led by the Spirit. All God's words are true. Now hear the decrees and the laws I have given you. Follow them so that you may live and take possession of the land Yehovah your God will give you. Do not add to what I command you, and do not subtract from it, but keep the commands that Yehovah your God has given you. In the last days, when everything I told you ahead of time has happened, you will obey Yehovah your God. All God's laws are eternal. Keep the 10 commandments Yehovah is giving you, so that things may go well with you, that you may live in the land Yehovah your God will give you forever. So be careful to obey all the commands, decrees, laws Yehovah your God has commanded you. Teach your children to follow them, not to turn away from them. Live in obedience to everything God has commanded you, so that you may live in the land that you will possess forever. God does not and cannot lie. Yehovah your God is one. Love Yehovah your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. These commands that I give you are to be on your hearts. Impress them on your children. Know that Yehovah your God is faithful, keeping his covenant of love forever to those who love him and keep his commandments. But those who do not love him he will repay with destruction. So be careful to follow his commandments, decrees, and laws that he has given you. Pay attention to his laws and follow them. Then God will keep his covenant of love with you forever. All God's words are true. What does Yehovah your God require of you but to fear him and to walk in obedience to him, to love him with all your heart, with all your soul, to keep his commands and laws for your own good? Circumcise your hearts. Do not be stiff-necked any longer, because Yehovah your God is Almighty God, who shows no partiality, defends the cause of the fatherless and the widow, and loves the foreigner. Fear Yehovah your God and serve him. All God's laws are eternal. Love Yehovah and keep his requirements, decrees, laws, and commandments forever. I set before you a blessing and a curse. The blessing if you obey my commands, the curse if you disobey my commands. You must not worship Yehovah your God in their way, because in worshiping their gods, they do all kinds of detestable things Yehovah hates. Do everything I command you, and do not add to it or take away from it. It is Yehovah your God you must follow. Obey his commands. Serve and hold fast to him. Even if a prophet or priest incites you to rebel against Yehovah your God, you must purge him from among you. Food. Do not eat any detestable thing. You may eat ox, sheep, goat, deer, gazelle. You may eat any animal with divided hoof that chews the cud. You may not eat a camel or a rabbit. Pig is unclean. Do not even touch it. You may eat anything that lives in the water and has fins and scales. You may eat any clean bird, but you may not eat eagle, vulture, falcon, raven, owl, gull, osprey, heron, or bat. All flying insects are unclean. Do not eat them. Tithe at the end of every 3 years. Bring the tithes of the year's produce to the priest, so foreigners and fatherless and widow may eat and be satisfied, so that Yehovah your God will bless all your work. It is at the end of every 7 years, cancel debts. Creditors will cancel loans made to Yehovah's people. They won't require payment from their people. It is Yehovah's time for canceling debts. You may require payment from foreigners. There will always be poor, so be open-handed toward my people who are poor and needy in the land. Passover. Celebrate the Passover of Yehovah your God. You must sacrifice the Passover in the place Yehovah chooses for his name. Sacrifice Passover when the sun goes down. For 6 days eat unleavened bread. On the seventh day hold assembly to Yehovah your God, and do no work. The festival of weeks, count off 7 weeks from the day after the weekly Sabbath, following Passover, at the place God chooses for his name, Yehovah. Celebrate the Festival of Tabernacles for 7 days after the harvest, the wheat from the threshing floor and winepress. Be joyful, you, your sons, daughters, servants, and priests, foreigners, fatherless, and widows who live in the land. For 7 days celebrate the festival to Yehovah your God at the place of his choosing. God will bless you in the harvest and your work, and your joy will be complete. 3 times a year all men must appear before Yehovah your God at the place he chooses, at the festival of unleavened bread, at the Feast of Weeks, and the Festival of Tabernacles. Appoint judges in every town Yehovah your God is giving you, and they shall judge the people fairly. Do not pervert justice, show partiality. Do not accept a bribe, for bribes blind the eyes of the wise and twist the words of the innocent. Follow justice, that you may live and possess the land Yehovah your God is giving you. The law and the prophet. If a man or woman living in the land has given you, the Lord Yehovah has given you, and found doing evil in violation of the covenant or contrary to his commandments about worship, bowing down to the sun, moon, stars, that person must die. The law, if cases come before the courts that are too difficult for the judges, take it to the priest for the verdict. I will raise up a prophet for my people, and I will put words in his mouth. He will tell them what I command him. I will hold anyone accountable who does not listen to his words. If what he predicts does not take place, do not be alarmed. He has spoken presumptuously. All God's words are true. All his laws are eternal. Know the law. Be led by the Spirit.